Hey guys, welcome to Minutes of Audio. We're reviewing the new Ed Sheeran album Equals. Before the video starts, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see more from us. We're going to be uploading about twice a week, so stay tuned for that. Josh, you could start.
First time I listened to this album, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. I grew up as an Ed Sheeran fan. Kinda, not really. I listened for like a month when Divide came out. And that album was okay. But on this one, it has a much different feel compared to his last albums. It's more. He has more of a rock influence on it and more of a happiness feel to it. And the pop feel, it's not just his traditional guitar songs, which pretty much made the entirety of his previous works.
Yeah, it feels like a lot more. Like. It feels a lot more diverse almost than
In a
his.
good way and in a bad way.
Yeah, it definitely is to the detriment of the album at points, but there are a few times where it does sort of like shine through and really complement the record in ways that his previous records, I guess, sort of lacked.
Yeah, his previous albums, a lot of the songs did sound the same, even though I did appreciate on his older albums how when he would switch it up, he would make still a guitar-based song. Like, a few of his songs, like Bibby Babla Yee Yee or some shit like that. Do you know that one?
I think I haven't listened to him in so long. I haven't listened to his old stuff in so long, but I've probably listened to it before.
But it's more of a folk song, which is
Yeah.
nice, because on this one, it kind of feels like he just was like, I'm going to use a guitar and then make a trap song, which doesn't
Oh my
fit.
god. You talking about Two Step?
Yeah, when I first listened to that song, I actually just... I think
It-
I skipped it 35 seconds in. And then when I went back to listen to it, the only notes I had written down was, it's trash.
It reminds me, like, the instrumental alone, like, never mind the rapping, which is just a whole nother, like, pile of shit, but instrumental alone, it reminds me so much of, like, if you, like, typed into YouTube, um, Ed Sheeran acoustic type beat, and, like, that'd be the thing you find. It sounds, like, so amateurish. I don't know
Which,
what he
like,
was, I don't know what he was thinking making it, but,
which, like, I can, I can kind of appreciate it, because it's... he was trying, at least, but
yeah.
I think the bigger problem in the scenario was everyone he's surrounded with isn't giving him valid opinions or something. 'Cause I feel like if anyone made that song, if anyone who hears that song doesn't like it, there's no way.
Yeah, like I haven't heard one person say anything positive about it. Like I think that's like one of the songs that everyone kind of collectively rolls their eyes at. Um,
It just comes across as cringy.
yeah, and his rapping is way too like
Kind of 21 Pilots esque.
it,
You know,
in a very yeah in a way it's because it has that same like where it's almost identical to their singing voice, and it's way too clean and polished. It doesn't have like that either like, grittiness that rap has, or that sort of more smooth flows that like a lot of rappers have, and it just I don't know. It seems like too much. It just doesn't fit.
but I think the worst part about this song is how he assaulted us with his lyrics. Like,
There's a
some of
lot of
the
that.
shit he says is just like, just not good writing. Like,
It, that's a very good point because like on songs like Two Step and like on a few other tracks, the writing is abysmal. But then
but
he has
not on
like
all the songs. Like, he has some songs where like the writing is. Some songs he has average rating on, and other songs he does have like.
very
Like, I
solid.
think I don't
yeah.
think you agreed with this one when we talked about it earlier. Like, I feel like
Mhm.
Tides is just a well written song
Yeah.
lyrically. The only problem is that it sounds like you made it on a computer.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
it's an Ed Sheeran album, so you don't want that sound.
I mean,
What were you
but
gonna say?
well, I was gonna say, especially like visiting hours, like that's like the star track of the entire record. But that's like, that's a really like fantastic like lyrical song. Um, and it's so like jarring when you have like songs like that, and then you have other songs like Two Step or like
And
like
another,
Shivers, where
not to cut you off, but it's jarring to also have songs that you could see that like were very clearly planned out. It
hmm
is a very mature song for Ed Sheeran, and then he just follows it up with songs like Collide, which
yeah,
like okay, Collide is okay. Like the verses I really like, the lyrics I like, but the chorus just sucks.
it, I think I definitely dislike it a lot more than you. Um, I do admit like the verses are. I don't have too many like. I don't have really any problem with the verses, but yeah, that chorus and especially that like that background vocal sort of section that he has in there, like that always bugs the shit out of me. It just sounds way too overproduced, and he's trying way too hard on that track. And
Just
it's yeah, it's indicative of like some of the other songs on there too.
a perfect way to sum up that song is that it's literally just a mom pop song.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
mom pop song stamp.
The, well, it's funny because Ed Sheeran's always had like some of those gimmick songs. I feel like on his records, like on this one, another one. And I think it's actually a good
But
song. It's
never so obvious though. Like
true.
that wedding song, the name escapes me right now.
First
Where it's
times.
like
That's what I was thinking of.
yeah, like that's generic one, but like at least it's not. It doesn't feel so like just the way Collide's written. It
Yeah.
just feels like it was written for moms to be driving home in a minivan, yet screaming it about their husband. Like that's what it sounds like.
I mean, I feel like first times might be a little bit more on the nose though. Like, I like first times, but especially the make a million more first times with you. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't know. That sounds exactly like a song you hear at a wedding. He knew what he was doing with it, but
And the thing that's annoying about that song to me is that it's really not that like if you put that song on any of his other albums.
mhm.
Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Not
He really
Division.
doesn't have that many great albums.
Yeah.
Division even isn't really that great looking back at it.
No,
But it's just
yeah. It,
compared to his other good guitar song, like in that lane, it's
mhm.
really not that good. It's just good because it's squished between Bad Habits and Shivers.
Well, okay. Actually, there's a part of Bad Habits that I like. I really like the like main melody of it.
I do too, but like that song, if Ed Sheeran wrote it
Mhm.
or whatever, like produced it, he should have sent it to Charlie Puth or somebody who actually had vocals to fit it. Because it sounds like he's just doing a Charlie Puth impression on it. And
I
the Weeknd, like most, a lot of his songs sound like he's trying to be him or the Weeknd.
ooh, there was one song wait, what was this? There was one song that I really got the. I feel like
Weeknd
maybe Stop the Rain.
Stop the Rain.
That might have been the song where I really got like heavy Weekend vibes from. Uh,
Yeah, I said. Yeah, I wrote somebody take away the radio from Ed, please. Like, oh, I don't know.
yeah, it does sound like he's like copying some of the bigger names on that.
And again, like his old pop songs that were good and popular, or songs like
hmm
Castle on the Hill, where he stuck in his okay, like he should venture out of his lane, but
Yeah,
he expanded his lane on that song.
yeah, and that's one of his best songs, I think. Like I still like that song even today. Um,
Yeah, that's a
and
good song.
I heavily agree with that because I think some of the best songs on this album are songs where he's like he's in his lane, he's doing what he's always sort of been known to do, but he's kind of pushing it a little bit. I
Like
mean,
Visiting Hours. That's a
yeah,
like that. It's,
exactly.
at heart, it's an Ed Sheeran song, but it sounds like he's just taking his more mature sound or
hmm
more mature life. I don't know how the fuck to say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like it's like a perfect example of him just sort of taking that sound that we all know him to do and making the most out of it. And I kind of just wish he like I wish he stopped sort of trying to chase mainstream radio pop hits. Uh, at least like with the sort of normal pop sounds that he's going for. I don't know like how to sort of word it, but like and just kind of stuck to those types of songs. And if it charts, it charts. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I feel like he'd have much better records if he went that approach.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. But one more thing about visiting hours is,
Hmm.
do you think it sounds similar to his song on Divide, Supermarket Flowers?
I mean, yeah, I didn't like it. Didn't initially hit me when I first listened to it, but now that you mention it, like it definitely, I could see the resemblances. Even though it does like resemble it or it does sound like similar, though, I don't think it detracts any bit from the song. I still think it's a very like solid track.
Another track that I think is not solid, it's average,
Hmm.
is Sandman.
Ooh,
And a
okay.
lot of people I see hating on that song, like way too many people.
Hmm.
But I think if you look at what it is, it's just a song he wrote for his child, made on instruments he bought for his child. I don't know how you could hate it. It doesn't sound awful. It's not the best song, but it's listenable and it has a nice sentiment to it at least.
I mean, I don't know. I know we disagreed on this, but like I just feel like there could have been so much more done with it because the whole concept of that coming right after the song about like death, like did like a new person being born right after the song like death, like it just like thematically it seems like it fits. It's just the fact though that like it sounds like something that you'd hear on Nick Jr. and I
But I
again.
mean,
Hmm.
I don't think that's a necessarily a problem.
I mean,
Because like if you look at okay, I'm not saying Ed Sheeran is the Beatles at all.
yeah.
Just I'm not saying that at all.
Hmm.
But if you look at a song like Yellow Submarine or even Octopus's Garden, that sounds like it could have been a Nick Jr. or Disney song at the time. Like,
Octopus's Garden, I don't know if I'd agree with. I think like that's like there's enough going on in that song, like where
yeah, I
even if
guess
it
you're
is
right.
like upbeat, Yellow Submarine, I
And Hey
think
Bulldog, I'd say.
you have a point, but I think I think that this is a lot more blatant. Like with those, you could say like, oh, I could see that on like a children's show. With this, it literally has like it sounds like it's made for like some sort of television program, um, trying to like teach preschoolers some like bullshit. And
See,
plus,
but that's what I like. That's
mhm.
what it sounded like that. But the entire time, he's just telling his daughter that she was wanted and loved the entire time.
No,
And then he's saying, I don't
I,
know. And then just
I,
the chorus, how it goes. Dream hanging out with the Sandman. You look so sweet, my child. Hanging out with the Sandman.
I think it'd be like if it wasn't on the album, I think I'd be more fine with it. If it was like just a single he dropped just for like whatever,
Or on the deluxe album.
or yeah, even that. It's just the fact that it's on the like the full actual album, and it's right after like his best song and right before the end track, which I think was a decent ending song too. It felt so like I don't know. It felt off almost. Like I guess my problem isn't so much with the track so much as it is like the track being placed on the album, where it is on the record, and like just how overly kid friendly it sounds. I personally like don't really get much replay value out of that. Um, but yeah, I get your perspective on it.
Um, Another song that I had an issue with, and
Hmm.
it's kind of similar to the issue you had with Sandman, except I felt like I was watching a really corny Netflix made coming of age movie.
Yeah.
Was the song "Love in Slow Motion." It's not bad, but the entire
Hmm.
time I was listening to it, I was expecting like literally just a coming of age love story to finish,
Yeah.
and I didn't like that. I mean, it's not terrible. It's one of the like,
I,
it's like a shining piece of shit in a pile of shit. But
I honestly like I think my problem with it is that like I listened to the album like 4 or 5 times, and every time I got to that song, I forgot that it was on the record. It just for some reason it's the most forgettable song on the entire album for me. Like I just I even like right now like there's just so much that I have trouble like recollecting for that song. Be like positive or negative. It's like a blob of nothingness for me. I got nothing from that song.
he wrote it with a popular country writer who wrote the music for that movie with Lady Gaga. What's it
Shoot,
fucking called? A
I don't
Star
know
Is
it.
Born. So I think that
Is that what
might
it
be
is?
why it feels like it's made for a movie, because it was literally made by someone who writes country music for movies.
That actually that would explain a lot of it. Yeah, actually that would explain a lot of it.
But other than that, um, Overpass Graffiti is an okay song. It's like
Hmm.
not one of his better songs, but compared to some of the other tracks on the album, it is a standout, kinda.
Uh,
Not it's not really like it's
I
like the other song. I feel like where it's a shining piece of shit in a giant pile of shit.
I think that's the problem. Is that like a lot of the songs on this album, like really like you could look at them and say like, oh, there's some positives, there's some decent things about them, but like there's only really like two. I'd say there's only really like two songs, maybe three, that you can see on this album that are like quality. And the rest are they range from like okay to just dog shit. I think that's like the main problem with it.
Yeah, the majority of the songs are just not good. A
Hmm.
song that I don't. Wait, I want to. I'll edit. Don't worry.
First,
Another song though that
okay.
another song that I think is really not that great is, and honestly, I've been overusing this word already in this review, but this the song "The Joker" and his Queen is
Ooh.
actually just cringe. It's a
I,
cringe fest through
I
and through.
I hate it so much. I hate that damn phrase.
The Joker, like, come on, like, he's an adult male on social media, so he definitely knows the Joker came out,
Yeah.
and he definitely knows the implications.
And the fact that it tries to, I think, I love the contrast, how it tries to be so, like, because it's like, it has, like, the violins going, and it has, like, the really, like, emotional vocals, and, like, it has all this, like, building up to it, too, and it's all that for him to be, like, the Joker and his queen, like, the contrast in there is so stupid. It's,
Because if he was going for what a Joker actually is, which is like
mhm.
the person assigned to make the king laugh
Yeah.
in ancient times, he should have just said the jester and his queen.
Yeah, but no, he wanted to capitalize on the memes.
Yes, yeah, for real.
He's
Like,
a real
who?
Joker. Oh, it was his Joker moment, you know.
Ed's Joker, man.
He had to go Sigma on us.
Okay, so Carl, what were your favorite three on the album? Only three.
Uh,
Anything more, you get kicked out.
I ending the podcast. Um, or the YouTube
The
channel.
audio show.
The audio show. Oh shit, the audio show. Um, I think. I mean, I think these are like the only three standouts. Visiting hours, obviously. Tides, obviously. And then for the third one, I was definitely a lot more crazy about this song when I first listened to it. But I still think it's pretty decent. First times. Uh, and then I guess for my three least favorites, we'll do that as well. It'd probably be Two Step, Sandman, and then Collide. Actually, swap Sandman and Collide. I think Collide was probably worse.
So my favorite three on this album are definitely Tides, Sandman, and Visiting Hours in no particular order. The worst songs, in my opinion, were songs: Shivers, The Joker, and Two Step.
Uh,
Overall, I'd give the album a 4.
yeah,
How
I'd
about you?
I'd give it the same. Uh,
Okay, so
yeah,
let me
it's
do
about a
math really
4.
quick and do the average.
Oh,
Our group average is
gotta
4.
find. Oh shit! I thought it was gonna
I
be
didn't
higher.
expect that. Holy
Man,
shit,
expect
these
the
guys
unexpected
fucking
on this
suck.
channel. Um,
So anyway, that was our review of the new Ed Sheeran album. The next album we're gonna be reviewing is gonna be Silk Sonic by Bruno Mars and Anderson Paak, or Pack, however the fuck you say it. We don't know when that's gonna be uploaded because we don't really have a set schedule yet because we have lives. But see you next time.